look at all the regulations that have come out since Larry Kissel and Barack Obama have been elected. Every aspect of our lives, hundreds and thousands of regulations. I was talking to a businessman the other day who is a cabinet maker, and he's been in business 20 years and worked with the same bank the whole time. He has a revolving line of credit with the bank that he almost never uses, but every once in a while he'll get a big job and he needs to go buy materials, so he'll use that credit line until he gets paid for the job, and he'll pay it off. Never had a late payment. Well, the bank canceled his line of credit. So he went in and sat down with the banker and said, you know, something wrong, why'd you do this? And he said, well, the bank regulators came in and said, we have too many lines of credit open here at the bank, so we had to close some of them. This doesn't make sense. The bank's losing money. The small business people are losing the liquidity they need to keep their business going when times are tough, or they've got a special situation. And this is the Washington down mentality. This is the worldview of President Obama and Larry Kissel. Now, Larry Kissel, y'all, I don't know how much y'all followed him because he's new to this county. But Larry Kissel, came in here today, you'd think he's a nice guy. You really like that person. He would talk to you, and you would think, this is John Wayne incarnate, the way he talks to you. But then Larry goes to Washington, and he asks Nancy Pelosi's permission before he votes. He enables the Barack Obama agenda. Now, every once in a while, like on the health care vote, when they put the health care law in a few years ago, they figured out how many votes they had, and they figured out they had a few extra, so they let some of the blue dog Democrats take a pass. And they handed out the little passes and said, okay, Larry Kissel, you can vote no. But then last year, the Republicans brought the bill to repeal Obamacare, and Larry Kissel voted against repeal. So if he really didn't like Obamacare, he had a chance to get rid of it and voted the wrong way, and that tells you where he is. It's that kind of hypocrisy that's caused someone like me, who's been a behind-the-scenes person my whole life, never dreamed of running for office, to decide that enough's enough. I'm going to step out and run myself because Larry Kissel's not getting done. And people where I'm from, Robeson County, deserve better representation. So that's why I'm running. And I'd ask for your support. And I'll give you 3 reasons why I hope you'll support me. First is I know this district. I've mentioned that to you. I particularly know this county, but I've spent a lot of time in all the counties in this district. And I've worked on issues like rural health care, and I've worked on issues like economic development. How do you grow jobs in a rural area? You know, the economy's tough right now. But when the economy was humming a few years ago, it was still tough here. It was still tough in Scotland County. It was tough in this part of the world. And so we need to do things, not only getting the government out of the way, and so the small business people who have money to invest are willing to take that risk and go hire those 1 or 2 people. But we also need to look at ways we can help businesses grow, help small businesses expand in areas like this. Let's look at what kind of infrastructure we need to build the manufacturing that our next county commissioner was talking about. What are things that we can do to grow the economy? Those are the things I want to focus on. I think it's also important that I have worked with building coalitions with conservative Democrats. When we were getting Robert Hayes reelected in the old district, we had to get 30% of Democrat votes just for Robert to get reelected. That's a lot of Democrat votes. And we did it by reaching out to farmers and business people and conservatives who think like us. Robin Hayes chaired Montgomery County. I wasn't dealing with Republican votes. Robin came within 15,000 votes 1 year of Karen Richmond. I guarantee you there's not that many Republican votes in the county. So the ability I understand of reaching out and building those coalitions I'm talking about, I think is another reason why we have someone who knows this district. That's why I hope it's important. The second reason is I've been a conservative my whole life. I never planned to run for office, so I haven't done things to build a political resume. For instance, I went to Raleigh every year for years and marched in the pro-life law. I didn't do that because it looked good on my resume. I did it because I have deep convictions and believe in that issue. And so you can look at my whole life and where I've stood and see that I've always been a consistent conservative. And that's why Senator Locke Faircloth's endorsed me. That's why Eric Cantor, majority leader, has endorsed me, as well as 20 of the most conservative members of Congress. The caucus in the Congress who voted against the bailouts and voted against the deals. These are the folks that are standing up for what we believe in. They are supporting me because they know me and they've worked with me and they know that I'm the kind of conservative who's going to stand with them for you and against this other worldview. So I'm honored to have that support. And I think you want to know what kind of person I am, go talk to my Aunt Thelma or look at me. So I think that's important. reason I'd say that I hope you'll support me is that I can be effective for you on day one. Because I've been there. I went to Washington for a total of 5 years as chief of staff, and I've seen the tricks, and I've seen how the place works. One of my opponents in our debate said it's going to take me 2 years to learn the ropes up there. Points, and I agree. It takes a while, and I've seen new members of Congress, very accomplished men and women in their fields, come to Washington, and you wouldn't believe the treatment they get. Everybody opens the door for you, calls you the honorable. All of a sudden, your jokes are hysterical. You're the smartest person in the room. Mr. Congressman, please come speak to my group because you're an expert on this issue. That kind of stuff. And it's hard not to get caught up in it a little bit. And I've seen it happen over and over. I've also seen people, freshmen will get taken into the speaker's office. Speaker Boehner will sit them down in this ornate office with the window looking out over the National Mall, and he kind of leans into them, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he says, I've got to have you vote on this. And he'll sit there and smoke that cigarette and not say a word until he gets them to vote with him. And that's a lot of pressure. But I know John Boehner, and I've worked with John Boehner, and you know what? I'm not going to vote against my convictions, and I'm not going to vote against your interests. I don't care what the team needs in Washington. And I understand those pitfalls, and I can avoid them. But I can also go to work right away, because I know the committee chairman, and I know the staff directors, and I understand how the process works. Let's take Obamacare, for example. In 2014, Obamacare is going to be fully implemented. That means people are going to start getting the benefits. And at that point, good luck getting rid of it. I mean, it's like Social Security. There's no way in the world we can take Social Security away right now. And in the same way, if we let Obamacare get implemented, then we're going to be stuck with it. So 2013 is our one shot. We've got to get a Republican Senate, we've got to get a Republican president, and we can repeal Obamacare. But if you elect a congressman from this district who's going to take them a couple of years to figure their way around, they're going to have absolutely no impact on that debate. But I can go to work. I don't even have to wait till I'm sworn in. The day after you elect me, I'm going to be on the phone working. Because I know the committees have jurisdiction over Obamacare. Like I said, I know the chairman and I know the staff side. And so I can take your views and your input and go help implement conservative policy right away. And so because of that, I hope you'll give me your support. So I know the district. I've been a conservative my whole life, and I can be effective for you right away. And I promise you, I'll work hard for you every single day. You're going to see a lot of me. I'd just be honored to have your support. Also want to point out Chris Carter over there. I've known his name. Chris is my campaign manager. We brought some signs here. If anybody wants signs, we got bumper stickers. And please fill out the cards if you'd like to get involved. It is such an honor to be with you here today.